Welcome back to another spicy video. Now, today I will not be going into detail with all the abuse that goes on in this family, but if you would like me to go into detail, comment down below and I can make another video with the details for you guys. But today I have live clips from the mom herself responding to everyone's concerns.
And let you guys know if you are angry or triggered by today's video. I'm going to post tomorrow. I don't normally post on Saturdays, and I would love to validate all of your anger and to let you know that I hear you and I understand why you're upset. And I want to let you know that I am deleting your comments, not because I hate you, and I'm not ignoring you. So I'll make a video and I'll post it tomorrow, and if you want to watch, awesome. If you feel like you're too triggered, I would invite you to. And I do want to say thank you to all of the viewers who are sending me DMs, which is, it's always so interesting when things go black and white. Not everything goes black and white, but every once in a while there's a post where you either really hate what you've heard, and that's usually what fills up in the comments, and then it's in the DMs where people don't want to be attacked for giving support, which I totally get. But I've gotten a lot of support in the DMs. So for that, I thank you. Going to do a video and post it tomorrow, but I think I'm just going to do it right now. I'm just going to talk about the responses to today's video just right here. So if you haven't been, oh, here's Kevin. He's gonna,
hi guys,
wants to talk too. So today's video we posted about, I didn't know Chad was gonna start talking and explain what some of the outcomes of his behaviors have been, and he did. And I told him, I said, you know, we can cut that out, we can edit it if you want. And he's like, no. He's like, it's fine. I'm totally fine having it in. I was like, all right, that's great. So I didn't anticipate all the upset. However, listening to all of your comments and your feedback and your feelings around things, it totally makes sense to me why you're angry and why you're upset.
Yeah, I mean, we totally understand how it must look from your perspective, but so long before we started YouTube, there were a lot of behavioral and emotional challenges that we were dealing with our kids. And we've been consulting with mental health and emotional health professionals for years. And the things that we show and share and the things that many of you are criticizing and calling abusive are actually things that mental health professionals have counseled us to do.
Yeah, I think I understand where some people are coming from. They're like, oh, abusive parents don't give their kids beds. And I totally agree with that. It's all in the motive. I know there are lots of children out there whose parents are neglectful and are making sure that their addictions are taken care of, but then the kids are, without food and without clothing and oftentimes without a bed to sleep in. That is not the case we have been accused of abuse for years. In fact, I remember taking Eve to Walmart once and she wasn't wearing shoes, and people were like, you're an abusive parent. And I'm like, okay, that's an extreme. We got accused of child abuse when we sent Chad to Anasazi. Guess what? The first thing that they did was take a bed away. They don't have beds. So Chad slept on the hard ground for months, and it's run by psychologists and therapists, and if not having a bed was psychologically damaging, then they wouldn't have suggested that. They wouldn't be doing that. They'd be giving all the kids beds, but they don't. So we just want to let all of you know, and I think most of the people who are upset are actually children, like teenagers. Although I'm shocked by how many. Most of the time, the comments that we get on our channel is, you guys have the most beautiful family and your kids are so well behaved. How do you do it? I want my kids to be well behaved like your kids. And whenever we start sharing the details of how we actually parent, we get a lot of upset. People are really triggered. And so if you are triggered and you're upset because of something Kevin and I have done with our children that is actually working really well for us, then I would invite you to look at it and ask yourself, what is it that I'm projecting onto this situation? Because you would be upset and you would be angry if I was your mom doing this to you.
So we've learned through experience that when people get triggered or get upset by something, it usually is because that something means something about them. And so if this experience has been hard for you to watch, how we've parented our kids and how we've held consequences with them and placed firm boundaries and held them to those expectations and encourage them and reward them when they show good judgments. If you're triggered by all of that, then that's probably a good chance for you to look at yourself and ask, what about me is this situation telling me? Why am I upset by how they're choosing to parent?
Yeah, I had someone say, I don't need you to validate my anger. I need you to be a good parent to those kids. And I'm thinking, do you see how personal these comments are? That she needs me. So this comment, I need you to be a good parent to those kids. So it's almost like she's claiming the kids as her own. And that's why I understand the upset. That's why I understand the anger, is because if you really see these kids as your own and then you see me parent them in a way you wouldn't, of course you're going to be angry. That makes so much sense. And they're not anybody's children but mine and Kevin's, and we are doing a really good job of listening to them and having people help us who are professional and who have given us some really, really great advice. And we are a happy family.
Yep.
There's one more. I've been screenshotting the comments before I delete them. So keep them coming, because the screenshots I'm eventually going to use as content for some pretty crazy beliefs. But my favorite one so far has been, I get why you take things away from toddlers to teach them a lesson, but it is psychologically damaging to take things away from children who are older. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm an adult, and if I showed up irresponsible around my home, if I showed up irresponsible around my vehicle, if I showed up irresponsible with my children,
or your job,
or my job, or anything, that thing could still be taken away. So it's just all of these false beliefs that are being spewed. So if you really do believe that it's psychologically damaging and abusive to take, then yeah, I see why you're angry. You're going to be angry a lot in your life if that's what you believe.
One of the biggest misconceptions out there in the world today is this idea of how fragile we are, how fragile people are, how fragile relationships are. And that nothing could be further from the truth. The truth is that human beings are what are called anti-fragile, which means we need to face challenges, we need to face hardship,
resilient,
and pain to develop resilience and grit, and that's what leads to success in life. If we make things easy on our kids all the time, they're going to grow up to be snowflakes.
Yeah. I totally believe that. Now I've lost my train of thought. Hold on. Remember what I was going to say. Do you want to know the number one most triggering thing Kevin and I have ever talked about? It is not sex, and it is not politics, and it is not religion. If you want to get people really riled up in social media, you start talking about responsibility. It's like the R word. People don't like to hear it. And we are actually training our children to be ready for the real world. We've been accused of not training them for the real world. Actually, we are. And I think
just because we shield them from distractions, we're being told that we're not preparing them for the real world.
I think that there is a lot of fear that is coming because the viewer actually isn't. If you are one of those people who has commented hate because we're not preparing our children for the real world, I think the truth is yours. One comment once explaining how I expect our children to live out on their own outside of the house after they're 18 and after they've graduated from high school, I was accused of abuse. It's like, it's abuse to expect your children to be responsible.
To grow up and be productive adults.
You guys, it's crazy, ridiculous how people are so scared of responsibility. It really does freak me out just a little bit. It's where the entitlement has come in, and so many parents are scared to raise their teenage kids. So many parents are scared of their kids. Do